Hey guys, in this video we're going to look at bill of materials control within an ERP type system. So the first question I'm going to ask is, well, what is a bill of materials? What is a BOM? You may have heard that term BOM in terms of manufacturing and engineering. Not talking about the exploding kind here. This is more about your ingredients or your list of parts that you use to make up the part you're going to sell. So that's literally what a bill of materials is. It's an itemized list of the components that you're going to use or the parts that you're going to use to make up whatever it is you're manufacturing. Now that gives you control within an ERP type system because it contains a number of different factors. We'll talk about some of those. So firstly, that bill of materials will be to a revision level. So generally, if you're making something and it's an engineered type part, there will be a drawing at somewhere behind that. You're making it to a drawing number and to a drawing revision. Well, that bill of materials exists for that revision number. And so if you change that drawing, if you change the way that part's going to be made in the future, the bill of materials will change with that itemized list that gives you control over what components are going to be used. In an ERP type system, that also filters into your purchasing suggestions, for suggestions of what lower level assemblies and things you'll make. Everything will be controlled by that itemized list. So these are the parts that we're going to use or the components that we're going to use to make that master part that we're going to sell. And these are the sub-assemblies that we need according to our bill of materials, our current bill of materials. It gives you that level of control. The bills of materials can also contain, in some systems, and the systems vary a little bit like this, but here are some of the things that they probably contain. Things like alternative parts. So this part is approved and that part is approved as its alternative, and you can swap between the two depending on your supply situation. Setup quantities. So thinking about things like injection molders, every time they set a molding machine up, there'll be an amount of plastic, amount of polymer lost in that process because they've purged the barrel through and some polymer will be drained from the machine in that process. Well, that can be modeled into the bill of materials so that we know every time we set up this job to make this part, we're expecting to lose X amount of this material. That kind of leads on to scrap as well. So scrap, not so much thinking about setup here, but when the machine is running, you won't expect 100% efficiency from that machine. You'll lose perhaps some parts during the process, whether actually it's a machine or a manual operation. There's always going to be some mistakes made, some parts lost. We aim to minimize that, obviously. But you can model that scrap. If you've got a good idea, so for every 100 parts we make, one will be scrap in some way, no good. You can model that into the bill of materials. What does that do? Well, it informs the purchasing team up front. They need to buy that little bit extra material for this job. It informs the stores guys they need to issue that little bit extra for this job as well. So all of this kind of comes together to give you control and mistake proofing within the production department, the engineering department, the stores and purchasing teams, all coming together focused around that itemized list that we call a bill of materials.
To learn more, visit our website or book to attend one of our free educational events. You'll even receive a free paperback copy of our book, How to Implement a Manufacturing System, just for attending.